Well, you're going to want to leave a like on this video because this is total and complete destruction. Word on the street is the CEO is set to be fired almost any minute now, although we'll be waiting to see. For many of you out there, you talked about, you were around for the great Cracker Barrel kerfuffle of 2025, which was essentially the fact that Cracker Barrel had hired a new woke, white, liberal woman to be their CEO, who had called their brand irrelevant in various meetings and interviews. So they decided they would change the logo, change the restaurant menu, and get rid of everything about the restaurant that everybody loved, meaning all of the fun stuff on the walls, and they would paint them hospital room white, and all the millennials would come flooding in. They even hired some people to square dance in New York City, where there are 0 Cracker Barrels located. This is the thoughts and big ideas of a white liberal CEO, and the backlash was swift, and the backlash was unrelenting. And as of right now, Cracker Barrel has now said they are going to not only, obviously we know, change the logo back, but they have canceled all of their restaurants' disastrous rebrands. And they've issued some statements about it. Let's look at all this stuff here. Cracker Barrel suspends all restaurant remodels after disastrous rebrand controversy. Really wasn't a controversy. I wouldn't call it that. Basically, everybody knew, I wonder how their stock has been reacting. Probably, it's holding even about today. It's down 12% over the last month. Well, yeah, it's up 13% over the last 6 months. Maybe they should have just kept that going, but I digress. The rustic theme chain with 660 restaurants across the United States announced it will now immediately halt all store remodels on a post on X. You've shared your voices in recent weeks, not just with our logo, but also with our restaurants, the company said. Today, we are suspending our remodels. If your restaurant hasn't been remodeled, don't worry, it will not be. What does that tell you? So part of me thinks, oh, well, this is probably, a lot of people are falsely going to think, well, this is an epic victory. This is an epic victory for people who are sick of woke remodels and reimaginings. But here's what probably really happened. Okay, friends? What probably really happened is they remodeled the stores and they completely bombed. They completely tanked. They had they probably got absolutely crushed in sales. And that, my friends, is really why they're changing this. Since 2024, Cracker Barrel has been attempting to modernize its image. The company, led by former Taco Bell leader Julie Fels Messino, was attempting to reboot the image with a $700 million makeover. It needed a change and fast. At the time, the company was closing stores, largely attracting older customers, and the CEO's own words, becoming less relevant. Part of the plan included a more modern interior design at its restaurants. Gone were the untreated lattice wood walls. It came in white painted wainscoting. Designers removed the busy trinkets from the wall and replaced them with farmhouse style paintings. So instead of actual farmhouse implements, they're like, hey, we're going to put pictures up so you can remember what the walls used to look like. The company also said it rolled out a new lighting system to make the rooms feel brighter. Customers, staffers, and conservative commentators initially simmered in anger over the newly designed eateries in August. Can we please go back to the original look? The nostalgia is gone. One fan wrote on social media a video of the new interior. Now, here's the thing. Here's one thing that I'm going to ask, hopefully have my viewers and other people who were upset by this redesign. Now you've got to go back. We've got to go back and support Cracker Barrel now. You can't just demand change and then still not go. This is why the left, people started ignoring the left's cancel culture, because this is what they did. They would boycott stuff they never bought anyway. So companies would bend the knee and then they wouldn't see a spike in sales. So that's how we won kind of the battle against cancel culture. But in this case, conservatives, we need to do a buy-in at Cracker Barrel. Like, I'm going to make sure I go to Cracker Barrel at least once this week. That's a 100% increase on the number of times I've been to Cracker Barrel in the last 6 to 8 months. Everyone else needs to, consider going back to Cracker Barrel in the short term so they can see a sales spike, so they can see it wasn't just people whining and complaining online. Because if we don't, then they're simply not going to listen to us anymore. Right? They're just not going to listen. And why should they if we don't go back? Then weeks later, the company began unveiling its new signage. That's when anger spilled over into headline generating controversy. Commentators showing a spotlight on the chain's modernized sign that removed the cross-legged old man sitting on a rocking chair. Mega critics, including President Donald Trump, labeled the new design scheme as woke. Cracker Barrel quickly announced a reversal on its signage. Critics compared the rebrand to Bud Light's Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. In 2023, the beer producer jumped in the limelight when it featured Dylan Mulvaney, a biological man pretending to be a woman, playing woman face. Shoppers revolted against the alcohol brand, sending sales spiraling for months. But that may not be the case with Cracker Barrel. Experts tell the Daily Mail that the restaurant chain, which has reported mixed sales results in the last couple of quarters, might actually benefit from all the attention. Cracker Barrel has received a lot of publicity over the past couple of weeks, Neil Saunders, retail expert at Global Data, told the Daily Mail. The input is helpful for brand visibility. It probably won't drive sales by all that much. Surveys agree. A recent YouGov poll found that 65% of Americans were aware that the brand went through a logo change, but only 29% of respondents said the changes made them less likely to dine there. Other analysts are putting the company's PR nightmare squarely on the executives' feet. The company was caught flat-footed in the glare of their customers' headlights. Jerry Thomas, CEO of Decision Analyst, a restaurant advising firm, told the Daily Mail it is a major failure of Cracker Barrel's senior management. And you can actually see this play out. You can see this play out now because what's wild is people are not done yet. They want the CEO gone. Here's Nick Soder writing. Breaking, Cracker Barrel has officially canceled their, quote, renovations. Will revert any store already changed back to the original design. Well, that's going to be expensive. We won. Today, we're suspending our remodels. If your restaurant hasn't been remodeled, you don't need to worry. It will not be. With our recent announcement, our old-timer logo will remain, along with our bigger focus in the kitchen and on your plate. We hope that today's step will be heard by you. By the way, this is trending with fire the CEO, right? I mean, obviously the CEO does need to get fired, Here's, by the way, the original, the logo disaster, pronoun training, selling off real estate to competitors, sponsoring pride and food quality. I talked to 93-year-old Cracker Barrel co-founder Tommy Lowe about all of it.
Today, we've got an incredible guest. This is the legend, the founder, 93 years old, Tommy Lowe of Cracker Barrel. This is an interview you are not going to want to miss. I mean, I want to start with this. So before we get to the logo, Tommy, you're an incredible man. You are the American dream. You didn't just found Cracker Barrel. You also, in your life, you were a dairy farmer. You did construction. I mean, go down the list of all the jobs you did. You were a wrestling champion. You are the pinnacle of what people kind of think of when they think.
Is this the official? Look at this. Steak and Shake. Before the logo fiasco, Cracker Barrel had quietly been serving day-old biscuits, microwave meatloaf, according to their employees. Steak and Shake. Fire the CEO. Protest this travesty by reposting this story. We stopped the horrible logo. Now let's make them fix the food quality. Save Cracker Barrel. Now, I don't know if Steak and Shake is, if this is a parody account. It seems like maybe it is, but I don't know. But this is, again, this is from yesterday. They need to do more work, obviously. You see, it's not just Cracker Barrel's ill-fated logo change. As corporate bean counters this year quietly forced a chain to serve up day-old biscuits and microwave meatloaf, the Post has learned. The unsavory menu staples at the folksy restaurant, including biscuits that arrived at tables hard, rubbery, and like a rock, were the result of non-public February directive that prioritized cost savings and efficiency over customer satisfaction, multiple employees have told the Post. Instead of making biscuits fresh each day, as Cracker Barrel's kitchens have done for years, the chain's 650 locations were ordered to bake them a day in advance and freeze them, then reheat them in hot boxes the next day. They thought they'd be faster and out sooner if we weren't rolling out bread, the source said. People want biscuits to be buttery and soft, she added. The most common complaint we've gotten is our biscuits are sometimes like a rock, not like Chevrolet or Ford. Which one's like a rock? Like a rock. I think that's Ford. I don't know. Likewise, Cracker Barrel's signature meatloaf was cooked the day before and tossed into a microwave just over a minute before being served. Another stealthy measure to save money. Well, this is something that a lot of people talked about with Cracker Barrel. They said, look, the food quality has gone completely down the drain, and I think we know why. I think it's time, my friends, to still fire the CEO. I want, the food quality will, people need to continue to complain about that. But now after reading this, I've changed. I think the CEO still has to go. Calls for the CEO being fired are a lot. I would love to see the CEO get fired. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon. No, it's not like it was like, oh, I ate a fish and I didn't know this particular fish. I couldn't eat this particular fish on Thursdays. You knew what you were doing. And the fact that you were a aspiring law student makes it even worse. I don't care how big your bobs and vagine are. Big? That's not probably a good thing. Anyway, absolute F around to find out moment. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.